Buckle up for a wild ride through the 1950s where cars were kings and some reigned as epic failures that'll blow your mind. Get ready to dive into the dazzling 1950s, America's golden era of post-war optimism. This wasn't just a time of economic recovery, it was a cultural explosion where cars transformed into more than just vehicles. They became status symbols, lifestyle statements, and rolling proof of success, mirroring a nation's bold ambitions. After World War II, with factories humming and consumer demand surging, automakers raced to craft machines that looked straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster, blending wild designs with daring or sometimes disastrous engineering. But not every car lived up to the hype. Some looked futuristic, yet drove like a nightmare come to life. Number 12, 1956 DeSoto Adventurer, the Speed Mirage. The DeSoto Adventurer promised thrills with its 341 cubic inch Hemi V8 pumping out over 300 horsepower and flashy curves that glittered with chrome and two-tone paint. Introduced to compete with the Corvette and Thunderbird, it was marketed as a high-performance coupe for speed lovers and thrill seekers, tapping into the 1950s fascination with muscle and style. Its sweeping lines and bold design made it a visual stunner, designed to dominate the road and turn heads at every stoplight. But the driving experience fell short. Soft suspension absorbed bumps but sacrificed cornering precision. Weak drum brakes struggled to halt its 4,000-pound frame, and the heavy body turned it into a family cruiser rather than a speed demon. Buyers expecting a true muscle coupe were disappointed, with a 0-60 mile-per-hour time of approximately 9 seconds, decent but not class-leading, falling short of the Corvette's 7-second benchmark. This disconnect between hype and reality doomed the Adventurer competitive 1950s performance market, where it quickly faded into obscurity despite its potent engine. This disconnect ties to the Brougham show overgo and the Monterey's style trap, weaving a pattern of promise unfulfilled across our list. The Adventurer's failure to deliver on its performance pledge links it to the broader narrative of overpromised designs that couldn't keep up. Number 11, 1959 Edsel Ranger, the ultimate flop. The Edsel Ranger, born from Ford's ambitious mid-tier brand vision, aimed to revolutionize the market but became an infamous flop. Its controversial horse-collar grille divided opinions. Few loved it, many cringed, while futuristic features like push-button gear selectors and domestic-style electric gauges were unreliable and costly to repair. Powered by a V8 offering adequate power, it suffered from poor build quality, misaligned panels, and rattly interiors that eroded consumer trust. In a tightening market, it had no room to recover. Number 10, 1959 Chevrolet El Camino. Now let's shift gears to the 1959 Chevrolet El Camino, a bold attempt to fuse pickup utility with coupe comfort that promised to redefine versatility. Introduced as part of Chevrolet's response to the growing demand for multi-purpose vehicles, it was built on the Impala platform and sported massive tail fins, a low sweeping stance and vibrant two-tone paint, pure 1950s flair. The idea was genius: cruise the boulevards in style, then haul cargo with ease, appealing to both suburban families and small business owners. Chevrolet marketed it as a revolutionary two-in-one ride, capitalizing on the era's love for bold design and practical innovation, but reality hit hard. The El Camino's design prioritized aesthetics over functionality, resulting in a vehicle that struggled as both a car and a truck. Its cargo bed was notably small, with a payload capacity of just 1,000 pounds, and its low ride height, borrowed from the Impala's sporty stance, rendered it impractical for serious hauling duties, like those demanded by farmers or contractors. Conversely, as a passenger vehicle, it lacked the interior comfort and refinement of a traditional sedan, with a cramped cabin that compromised legroom and headspace due to its hybrid design. The result? A jack-of-all-trades, master of none. The timing of its launch compounded its challenges. Ford had introduced the Ranchero, a similar concept executed with greater balance and utility, just 2 years earlier, quickly overshadowing Chevrolet's offering with a more practical bed design and robust chassis. The 1959 El Camino demonstrated a critical lesson: attempting to excel in two roles simultaneously can lead to mediocrity in both, a design flaw that echoes through our list. This hybrid headache ties back to the Crestliner's gimmickry and the Monterey's style trap, another case of style over substance, connecting them in a saga of overreach that defines our countdown. Number 9 5 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham, the Lavish Letdown. In the glitzy 1950s, the Cadillac Eldorado Brougham was wealth on wheels, priced at $6,200, nearly $70,000 today when adjusted for inflation. Launched as Cadillac's most luxurious offering, it featured towering tail fins, gleaming chrome, and an elegant two-door convertible design that screamed status, perfect for the elite parading down Miami's Ocean Drive or Hollywood's Sunset Strip. Powered by a 331 cubic inch V8 producing 270 horsepower, it was marketed as the ultimate expression of American automotive artistry, hand-built to cater to the wealthiest buyers who valued image over practicality. But closer inspection revealed significant flaws. The V8 struggled to move the car's substantial weight, exceeding 4,800 pounds, efficiently, rendering it unwieldy in urban settings where tight turns and parking challenges abounded. The wide body and low stance complicated navigation, while the absence of groundbreaking technology such as advanced safety features or improved suspension underscored its reliance on flash over innovation. The high cost of maintenance driven by gold trim, leather seats, and custom parts further deterred practicality, with replacement components often scarce and expensive. The Eldorado Brougham epitomized luxury purchase for image rather than utility. While a visual showstopper, it proved to be a lavish toy better suited for display at car shows than daily use, highlighting the pitfalls of prioritizing aesthetics over functionality. This mirrors the Limited's bloat and the Premier's overreach, reinforcing our list's theme, flash without foundation fails. Each car's lavish design links back to the same misstep, style trumping substance, tying them into a cohesive narrative of excess. Number 8. Buick's 1958 Limited aimed to redefine luxury, stretching over 19 feet and tipping the scales at nearly 5,000 pounds more yacht than car. Introduced as the top-tier model in Buick's lineup, it featured a bold front grille, extensive chrome trim, and a low, wide stance that screamed extravagance. Accessories like electric seats and windows, and a dashboard laden with chrome accents, yet it failed to translate into a practical daily driver. The design philosophy, emphasizing more chrome, bulk, and flash, resulted in a bloated, overpriced vehicle that couldn't compete with more balanced offerings from rivals like Oldsmobile or Chrysler, which offered similar luxury with better handling and efficiency. Buick sold only about 7,400 units before discontinuing the model in 1959, cementing the Limited status as a cautionary tale of style overshadowing substance. Like the Premier, it's another giant felled by excess, echoing the El Camino's hybrid woes and the Crestliner's gimmickry. This obsession with size and flash over usability is the golden thread stitching these stories together, linking each car's downfall to a shared misjudgment of consumer needs. Number 7. 1957 Lincoln Premier, the over-the-top titan. Step into 1957 with the Lincoln Premier, a chrome-covered beast nearly 19 feet long and over 5,000 pounds, peak American luxury gone wild. Launched as Lincoln's flagship model to compete with Cadillac, it turned heads with its hulking presence, featuring wraparound windshields, dual headlights, and a chrome grille that stretched wide enough to dominate any boulevard. It was designed to captivate onlookers and project an image of unparalleled opulence, tapping into the post-war obsession with size as a status symbol. The Premier was a rolling statement aimed at the elite who wanted to make a grand entrance, but driving it, a nightmare. Its bulky front end, elevated rear, and poor visibility, thanks to a high beltline and small windows, felt like piloting a ship through crowded city streets, where parking lots and narrow roads were ill-suited for such a giant. Despite housing a powerful 368 cubic inch V8 delivering around 300 halbaway, won the Laden, with a concrete stamp as 40 common. With 70 cubic inch for Nibau, Legrader till Terrace Alpenheisem Duris Fotolis Retractable. With horsepower, the vehicle's heft resulted in sluggish acceleration, taking over 12 seconds to reach 60 mph and poor fuel efficiency, often dipping below 10 miles per gallon, even by the lenient standards of the 1950s. Inside, it delivered on luxury with plush, cushioned seats, premium materials, and an array of electric features like power windows, but it lacked the innovative technology rivals like Cadillac were rolling out, such as advanced suspension systems or enhanced safety features. With a steep price tag exceeding $4,500 and underwhelming real-world performance, the Premier struggled to maintain its competitive edge against Cadillac's more refined offerings. This excess links to the El Camino's overambition and the Monterey style trap. Bigger and flashier doesn't mean better. The Premier's failure to balance luxury with practicality ties it to our theme. When form overshadows function, the road to obscurity is short, a connection that binds these stories. Number 6. 1957. Ford Skyliner Retractable. The roof ruin. Imagine a coupe turning into a convertible with the push of a button. Pure 1950s sci-fi come to life. The Skyliner Retractable, introduced by Ford, was the world's first mass-produced vehicle featuring a fully electric retractable hardtop, a mechanical marvel utilizing 7 electric motors, 6 locking mechanisms, 4 lift jacks, and nearly 600 feet of wiring. Unveiled with much fanfare, it promised to revolutionize open-air driving, appealing to buyers enchanted by the era's technological optimism and love for convertible tops. When operational, the Skyliner's rooftop ballet was mesmerizing, folding away in a choreographed dance that captivated onlookers. However, reliability issues plagued the system. A single motor failure could render the entire mechanism inoperable, leaving owners stranded with a half-open roof. The folded roof consumed nearly the entire trunk, leaving little space for luggage. Planning a road trip, good luck fitting a suitcase. The added weight, over 100 pounds, compromised fuel economy to around 12 miles per gallon and handling compared to conventional Ford models like the Fairlane. Priced at nearly $3,000, over $33,000 today, buyers questioned whether the Gimmick justified the trade-offs, especially with frequent repair costs. This engineering overkill ties to the Brougham's tech troubles and the El Camino's hybrid flaws. Overcomplicating a good idea leads to collapse. A lesson threading through our countdown. The Skyliner's ambitious design links it to the pattern of overreach we've seen, connecting it to the broader story of 1950s automotive misadventures. Number 5, 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham, the Ultra XS experiment. At $3,000, nearly $135,000 today when adjusted for inflation, the 1959 Eldorado Brougham was opulence incarnate, positioning Cadillac as the pinnacle of American luxury. This hand-assembled masterpiece boasted an interior of leather, wool, brushed stainless steel, and a steel roof with polished chrome, complemented by extravagant features like a custom perfume dispenser, stainless steel cocktail tumblers, and memory-positioned seats. Marketed as a rival to European luxury marques like Rolls-Royce, it was tailored for the ultra-wealthy, with each of the 99 units crafted with meticulous attention to detail. Yet beneath this glamour lay technical woes. The air suspension, while cutting-edge for its time, proved notoriously unreliable, prone to leaks and failures that left the car uneven or grounded. The electric features, windows, seats, and gadgets were fancy, but incredibly challenging to service, with mechanics often lacking the expertise or parts to address issues. The car's massive weight, exceeding 5,300 pounds, overwhelmed even its 390 cubic inch V8, delivering 325 horsepower, making city driving awkward and unwieldy, with a 0-60 mph time hovering around 11 seconds. Cadillac produced just 99 units that year, and while it remains a rare collectible, its lack of mainstream success underscored a flawed premise. Excessive luxury does not always align with buyer needs. This excess echoes the Skyliner's complexity and the Limited's bulk, linking back to our theme of overambition derailing success. It's all connected in this tale of automotive hubris, tying each car to a shared legacy of extravagant missteps. Number 4, 1950, Ford Crestliner. Picture this. The post-war car boom had automakers scrambling to lure buyers back to showrooms with standout models. The late 1940s saw a pent-up demand for new vehicles after years of wartime production limits, and Ford jumped into the fray with the Crestliner, a sedan boasting a black vinyl roof as its big claim to fame. Introduced in 1950, this feature was marketed as a bold, upscale twist, promising a sporty yet sophisticated vibe. Think fake leather stretched across the top to turn heads and signal a new era of automotive luxury. The vinyl roof was intended to set the Crestliner apart in a crowded market, suggesting a level of exclusivity and innovation that post-war buyers craved after years of austerity. But peel back that flashy layer and you'd find a starkly different story. Underneath, the Crestliner relied on the same flathead V8 engine that had been a Ford staple for decades, producing a modest 100 horsepower, reliable but hardly revolutionary. Paired with a standard suspension and steering system, it offered no real innovation to back up the hype. Drivers expected a thrilling modern ride to match the post-war optimism and got disappointment instead. The vinyl roof itself became a double-edged sword. Some loved its daring look as a nod to custom car culture, while others dismissed it as a cheap gimmick, undermining the car's perceived value and exposing Ford's gamble on superficial appeal. Worse still, the Crestliner had no competitive edge over rivals like Chevrolet or Plymouth, which offered more balanced performance and features at similar price points. Chevrolet's 1950 models, for instance, introduced improved styling and optional power upgrades, while Plymouth emphasized durability areas where the Crestliner fell flat. This focus on looks over performance sealed its fate, leading to a quick discontinuation after just one model year. It faded into obscurity, setting the stage for a recurring trend we'll see again, prioritizing flash over function. That trend is the golden thread weaving through our entire list, connecting each car's misstep to a broader narrative of automotive overreach. Number 3, 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III, the Battleship Blunder. The 1958 Lincoln Continental Mark III aimed to evoke a sense of royalty, but its execution felt more like captaining a battleship. Stretching nearly 20 feet and weighing over 5,000 pounds, it epitomized excess in both form and function, launched as Lincoln's challenge to Cadillac's dominance. Equipped with advanced features like 6-way power seats, a power trunk, and power windows, it boasted a 430 cubic inch V8 producing 375 horsepower, impressive on paper. Its blocky design, stubby tail fins, and tank-like front end resembled a fortress more than a luxury vehicle, designed to impress with sheer presence. But when it came to driving, its massive weight couldn't be overcome, delivering poor fuel economy below 9 miles per gallon and a 0 to 60 mph time of over 11 seconds, sluggish for its class. Priced near $6,000, over $65,000 today, it competed with the Cadillac Eldorado, but lacked the refinement to prevail, with a 3-speed turbodrive transmission that struggled under the load. Today it is remembered as a symbol of an era when bigger was mistakenly equated with better, a philosophy that backfired. This bulk mirrors the adventurer's weight woes and the premier's excess, reinforcing our theme of size failing substance, a link binding these flops together. The Mark III's overbuilt design ties it to the pattern of excess that defines our countdown. Number 2, 1958. Edsel Pacer, the marketing mishap. Ford launched Edsel as a premium mid-market brand to bridge Ford and Mercury, with high hopes for the Pacer as its standout model. Introduced with a massive advertising campaign, it carried a $2,900 price tag, over $30,000 today, promising mid-level luxury to a post-war audience eager for upward mobility. But its horse-collar grille was widely mocked as awkward and ugly, setting a tone of misjudgment from the start. Launched during an economic downturn in 1958, the Pacer's poor build quality, fragile teletouch transmission, and frequent electrical issues eroded trust among buyers. Sales plummeted as the idea of spending big on an unreliable car clashed with tightening budgets, leading dealerships to drop support. Within a few short years, the Edsel name vanished, leaving the Pacer as a cautionary tale. This hype versus reality ties to the Mark III's overpromise and the Crestliner's gimmickry, connecting our list's narrative of misjudged markets and overconfidence. Number 1, 1951 Mercury Monterey. Next up, let's cruise into the 1951 Mercury Monterey, pure American dream material at first glance. Launched as part of Mercury's effort to carve out a niche between Ford and Lincoln, this coupe dazzled with its long, sleek lines, shiny chrome accents, and elegant proportions. It screamed movie star glamour, aimed at buyers wanting more than a basic sedan but not quite ready for the extravagance of a Lincoln. Ford nailed the looks, positioning the Monterey as a stylish option for the upwardly mobile. With a design that could easily grace the silver screen alongside Hollywood icons, its introduction coincided with a growing cultural fascination with automotive style, fueled by movies and magazines showcasing the car as a symbol of success. But the reality behind the wheel told a different story. The Monterey's flathead V8 churned out a modest 20 horsepower, fine for city jaunts, but far from the thrilling performance buyers craved in an era of accelerating automotive standards. Heavy steering and a bulky frame, weighing in at over 3,800 pounds, transformed the driving experience into a laborious task, often likened to pushing a couch through tight streets. The interior offered a roomy and refined cabin, but it provided little beyond what cheaper rivals like the Ford Custom or Pontiac Chieftain already delivered. With no standout technological advancements such as power steering or improved brakes to justify its higher price tag of around $2,200. Priced higher with no tech to brag about, the Monterey style couldn't save its soul. It became a fashion car, all looks, no guts, mirroring the Crestliner's fate with its reliance on aesthetic appeal over substance. This pattern of betting on aesthetics over performance is a recurring theme, linking these early flops to the bigger missteps ahead. When style outpaces substance, heads turn, but hearts don't stay, and that's a lesson these cars share, tying them to a broader story of misjudged priorities in the 1950s market. This caps our journey, linking to the Pacer's collapse and the Skyliner's over-engineering, proof that without real value, even bold ideas crash. The Ranger's failure to read the market ties it to the broader theme of misaligned ambition that unites our list. Like, subscribe, and comment. Which car blew your mind the most? Catch you next time.